So, speaking of that old webbot phrase, summer of crisis and chaos and whatnot, we got problems all over the globe. I mean, not that you didn't already know this, but it's kind of like the old saying, when it rains, it pours. So you have protests turn violent here, then they turn violent over there. The next thing you know, it's all over the place. This is also something the webbot said to look out for: the summer of riots, protests, crisis, all of that stuff. And it said, again, around summertime. We are in summertime. It is still July the 11th, 7-11. That's a good day for the club, 7-11. From Zero Hedge. Civil unrest explodes in Berlin. Over 3,500 people riot against the police. That's interesting, because I'm going to right-click this link. You know old Martin Armstrong? The guy that was thrown in jail by none other than Mr. Comey, head of the FBI, back when he was some kind of attorney general or something back in 2003-4 in New York. They put him in there for 2 years for, was it not obstructing, contempt. We're going to put you in there for contempt of court. For exactly what, though? We don't know. But we're going to put you in there. That guy was in charge. You know, the guy that told Loretta Lynch, hey, I don't think we need to press any charges on her. Civil unrest is exploding. Martin Armstrong writes a little article here. Civil unrest is exploding. The biggest and most violent protest in Germany erupted in Berlin over the weekend, exactly with our models calling for an explosion in civil unrest. Some 1,800 police were called in, and at least 120 policemen were injured in what became a street battle. This has been the most aggressive and violent protest in Germany in the past 5 years. Protesters were throwing bottles, cobblestones, and fireworks, and they destroyed cars in addition to attacking police officers. It appears at least 3,500 rioters took part in the uprising. The protest is against police operations and mostly involves young people who have risen up against the police operations in the Riga Street area. Protesters wore black hoods and carried banners with slogans like Riga Defend 9-4 and Housing Solidarity Against State Terror. The demonstration went on with the crowd chanting repeatedly, Bullenschwein, get out of Riga. Demonstrators threw firecrackers and police fired back with tear gas. The police also called in air support, employed helicopters, and called for reinforcements from Bavaria, Brandenburg, Lower Saxony, and Saxony-Anhalt, Thuringia, and the federal police. Interior Senator Frank Henkel announced after the demonstration that the police will now be present at night in an attempt to stop riots and arson attacks. You see, what's not really being said here is that this rioting that's happening over there is definitely in relation to the immigrant crisis and housing, because you got to understand, in the EU, they are taking empty housing or whatever, what have you, and saying, oh, you refugees, you poor refugees, come in here and live over here for free. While Germany's own citizens are being thrown out, foreclosed, etc. That's part of the other reason. So I just, look at some of these pictures. Burn, of course, the old burn car, the burning cars and that sort of thing. So I just decided, go to good old Google, search for riot or riots news. In the news, Minnesota police pelted with rocks, rebar, 102 arrested after protests turn violent. Updated this article a day ago. I'll pause that because we don't want to hear that junk. There we go. More than 100 people were arrested and 21 police officers injured in Minnesota Saturday night when protests over recent police killings of black men morphed into rioting. St. Paul Mayor Chris Coleman detailed at a Sunday press conference what he called an extreme incident Saturday night that led to 102 arrests after protesters pelted police officers with rocks, rebar, and incendiary devices, including Molotov cocktails. The injuries to officers were significant, but none were life-threatening, Coleman said. The protests, which started with a march from the governor's mansion around 8 p.m., were among several demonstrations nationwide following the deaths of 32-year-old Philando Castile, a black man who was shot in Minneapolis suburb by a police officer during a traffic stop, and 37-year-old Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So that's one thing, okay? I also read a couple things down. Where was this at? It was Zero Hedge earlier. More police officers involved shooting, I believe. Oh, here we go. 2 deputies, shooter dead after shots fired at Michigan County Courthouse. A police officer was shot in the left arm and finger after shots were fired at the county courthouse in St. Joseph, Michigan, according to local news outlets. At least 4 people have been shot, with unconfirmed reports of 3 casualties. So we've got that in the news. Kind of goes along with this same story. Then we also have another one from back on the other side of the pond, EU zone. Smoke rises around Eiffel Tower as riots break out during Euro 2016 finals. Really? Rioting broke out in Paris as France lost to Portugal in Euro 2016 final on Sunday as hooligans set fire to rubbish near the Eiffel Tower, resulting in 50 people being arrested. Now, this is one of those stories. Now, you can't really include that with the riot, the other reasoning. The reasoning that these other people have, I could see, yep, that would be a riotable, if you will, in my book. As far as reasons I would expect to see a riot. But I then again do have to add that to my reasons in my book. Riots caused by people who are tired of the black men getting killed, check. People who are tired of Syrian or whatever, and African immigrants taking over their housing, being kicked out on the streets, check. Easily checked. Losing a football or, soccer game, and you're upset that your team lost? Check. Because this is the New Age Roman Empire. While Rome is practically burning, it is collapsing. The citizens are demanding, we want more Colosseum events. We used to do them frequently. Then you did it by, once a month. Then it was twice, once every 2 months. And now we haven't had one in a while. We want more Coliseum events, damn it. Excuse me, you bozo. You moron. Your country is being destroyed. It's literally on fire. It's collapsing. You know what that bozo replies back? Oh, no, it's not. You conspiracy theorist. Pfft. But hold on, I warned you in advance that your Coliseum events weren't going to be happening like they used to due to insufficient funds. What about that? Well, I guess anybody could be lucky. Right. In other words, there was some old J-Snip 4 in Roman times, guarantee it, telling the people, wake up, wake up, wake up, pay attention to what's happening here. The barbarians, we've been, treat the barbarians as if they're Middle Eastern countries. We've been wrecking, destroying the barbarians' lands, profiting from them, taking their wealth. Guys, I'm really concerned that one day they're going to retaliate. Oh, stop. We got the most powerful military. We got the most highly advanced technology of the time. The best swords, weapons. Get this moron out of here. All right, I'm out of here. Hey, wait a minute. The barbarians did have enough. They did overthrow the Roman Empire. So, imagine that. What else do we have? BBC News. As it happened, England riots day 5. So let's go again. That side of the pond, we got it happening everywhere. Once again, it's happened. England riots day 5. Key points. David Cameron says every action will be taken to restore order with contingency plans for water cannons to be available at 24 hours notice. MPs and peers recalled to Parliament for Thursday to debate riots. Now, hold on. Wait a minute. I don't know if I read that right. MPs, that's like our politicians, MPs and peers called to Parliament for Thursday to debate riots. How does one debate a riot? I'd like to be in on that one. Are they going to do that live? Are they going to do that one live? Do it live. Another point. It is relatively peaceful across England on Wednesday night after rioting in several cities on Tuesday and in London the previous 3 nights. PM says police have legal backing to use any tactics necessary, including using baton rounds. Baton rounds. Is that like a baton that's loaded into a shotgun and fired off of, someone's head and cracked him upside the head with a, baton? What the hell is that? 3 men, aged 31, 30, and 21, died when they were hit by a car in Birmingham as they protected property. And finally, 3 courts in London will stay open Wednesday night to deal with the number of people charged. Join the discussion. Oh. Can't click on that. Twitter, no. Okay. Guess I can't join the discussion. Not that I'd want to. Not time for that nonsense. But the point being, the rioting is back. Webbot talked about this coming. Martin Armstrong has a model. And while he was in jail all those years ago for these trumped up nonsense charges, I was looking at his charts. When 2015 comes, he's got this thing around October 1st where this thing just goes, and it's like, whoa, what's this mean? And then, matter of fact, let me push the old pause button real quick on this and see if I can find that specific chart, because I'm very curious. When it went down, where did it stop? Was it 2016? Was it 2017? Just to kind of get an idea where we are on this bad boy. Just hang on a minute. Okay, I want to show you this chart. This is from Martin Armstrong. This is from actually 2012. Not that it really matters because his charts have been going on like this. This little chart you see hasn't changed. Once it's pulled up, nothing can change it. These little zigzags and ups and downs, nothing changes it. So you can see 2007.15. What did we have in 2007? Right, we had some tops of the market and whatnot. Next thing you know, 2008's going around. Now, keeping in mind, this is real estate, the 78-year long wave, as he calls it. And we have that same date that he talked about, 2015.75, which is September 30th / October 1st. Those 2 days is the mark. And as you can see where my finger is, I want to throw something out there real quick. See if you know what movie this is from. My fingers hurt. What's that? My fingers hurt. Oh. Well, now your back's going to hurt because you just pulled landscape duty. Anyone else's fingers hurt? Anyways, my finger says 2032.95. In other words, just about the year 2033. This is a real estate 78-year long wave. When I told you guys that I had these big hopes and dreams that one day, no, not like Martin Luther King's one day, but one day, the silver price will go up and the housing prices will collapse. And while the silver's going up, I can take some silver and sell it and buy a house for not necessarily pennies on the dollar, but it will seem like pennies on the dollar because the housing prices are going down while my silver is going up. So to me, it kind of seems like pennies on the dollar. So when I seen this chart, and I was actually scrolling through this big PDF he had, and I'm going to link this PDF, this site, but I want to share this with you real quick. 2032 from 2015.75 is the down going of real estate. The sector with the longest frequency tends to be real estate, he says. This cycle appears to follow a generational cycle, which in many ways is like planting a new crop of soybeans. The period between planting is a generation rather than planetary seasons. Therefore, the trading timing models are independent for each marker or sector, reflecting the uncorrelated results. Real estate is, above all other markets, the largest asset class, where the stock market, gold, commodities, and even bonds are interesting investments. They are by far still the minority insofar as participants. There is just no market that draws itself more people than real estate. At the peak of 2007, the mortgage market stood at about $9.5 trillion. It is this key cycle in real estate that truly affects the sustainable length of profound economic depressions. I think I need to stop right now, because as I'm looking at this chart, my alarm bells in my head are going off saying, J-Snip, you've got the wrong title for this video to be talking about this. Even though it's related, housing, foreigners coming in, invading, kicking you out. I think I need to do a video on Martin Armstrong's graphs and charts, because he's had these things for years and years and years. So on second thought, I'm not going to link this site yet. I'll save it for the next video. So as this is happening, by the way, this chart showing this dismal activity in real estate coming to a planet near you, I wonder if there's going to be more rioting and civil unrest and things of that nature. Take care.